Congratulations. I have one of those helmets in my house from our every other year. Well, actually, because of COVID, and like maybe reorg of the Mountain West or whatever, we ended up, I think, playing there 4 years in a row, which is a hard trip. You know, it's not an easy trip with a team. For all the reasons everybody just imagined in here. Everybody's head just went to that, but yeah.
All right, so just looking at the offensive line, what's just kind of the message to those guys, and what do you hope to see out of that unit with some new faces in there?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that we're at that stage in the college football season where someone has to pick up the flag and someone has to go out there and do the job, and we're confident that Michael will. And so I think that's one of those things that as those pieces move, right, you hope that like the training and the reps and the experience over the course of the football season gives them a chance to go in there and execute at a high level.
David? Coach, how would you best explain how this offense makes protection adjustments? I know a lot of us that watch the game, we're so used to seeing, linemen pointing, you got this guy, I got this guy. We're not seeing necessarily a lot of that. How does this team do it, and how happy are you with the way that the quarterback and the line are adjusting to protect themselves?
Well, we're always directing traffic up there. So whether you're seeing the points or not, that thing is being directed, absolutely. The biggest thing I think is just, we have to do a better job of protecting Noah. I think that's the obvious. And so whether that's, quick game, quarterback movement, all the things that you try and do to give your quarterback a chance to, be able to throw it clean and have a clean pocket. We're exploring every option there.
I asked Noah after the game the other day if he ever felt like he was carrying too much weight on his shoulders, and he said that he'd heard that, but he didn't really acknowledge that was the case. What do you think about? Do you think there was any of that coming into this season?
Well, I think there was some of that for every person in this program coming into the season. You know what I mean? And I think for Noah, I think that's the burden of leadership. It doesn't matter what school you're at. If you're a quarterback, you're going to feel that because the world looks at football that way, right? I think the quarterback position is the most important position in all of sport. And so there's so much of that comes with that position. I think Noah does an incredible job of handling the pressure of it, incredible job of supporting his teammates, of taking ownership, of taking responsibility, all those things.
But do you think that has leaked into his play?
No, I certainly hope not.
I've asked you this before, but about like the idea of trying to do too much.
No, I certainly hope not. I think the biggest thing is just making sure that he goes through his progression and delivers the ball where it's supposed to go. You know what I mean? And I think a couple times you saw some throws maybe get forced in T-Mac's direction, right? Which is a tough one because there's a high hit rate there. You know what I mean? So there's some of that give and take.
There was a plays against Colorado where it was kind of clear that they were blitzing and there'd be less of a lineman than defenders. Does Noah have the ability to check out of those plays, or what's kind of the procedure?
He does. He has the ability to check out of them, and he has the ability to change the protection also. And then if there's going to be a situation where they have more than we can block, then he has to get the ball out of his hand, knowing kind of the structure of the defense.
And then kind of adding on to what Justin said, Michael Luton obviously hasn't played a ton of snaps, but Joey Capra has. The ability to play a guy like that at least maybe new this season to the lineup, but has the experience before.
I think everyone is available on Saturday. So you could see Joey in there, but everyone is available.
Sorry, the benefit of having a guy available that has played.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Joey's played a lot of football. He's been a great addition. I don't know if you guys have got a chance to talk to him yet. He's an awesome young man, like great energy, big smile. He looks like one of the cops on Super Troopers, He's got the big mustache,
So what has it been like preparing for both quarterbacks this week?
Well, I think that's one of those challenges that you just have to deal with, right? Both of them are good players. Both of them have made plays for them. And so, you go into the game and you have to have a plan that kind of encompasses both. But, I think Green's going to play. Like, the kid's a tough kid, you know what I mean? And he's a good player. Like, I'd be surprised if he doesn't play. But just whatever it is, we have to be able to line up and execute the details of our assignments. And that's where the focus needs to be.
Michael? mentioned, sometimes forcing the ball to T-Mac, but we also talked about how maybe he didn't get enough targets this last game. It's been this ongoing conversation. But as far as dealing with him and how he processes a game where he doesn't get a lot of touches, does he talk to you about that? Does he, I don't want to use the word complain, but do you
He is
sense
not,
any
no,
frustration from him?
T-Mac is not a complainer at all. That's not his nature. He is a team first guy all the time, which makes him beautiful. You know what I mean? And so really, he's the type of player that knows he can help, fix some of the challenges that we've had offensively. And so if there's any of that, it's more that he knows that he can positively impact the football game. And he's demonstrated that before.
Brian?
Do you believe in, or see the possibility of desperation from your players, that can affect things, that they feel that urgency to get things turned around and it could affect their performance?
Well, I hope there's all kinds of urgency in this building right now. I really do. You know what I mean? But the truth of the matter is you only get to play one game this week. And so this is the only one that matters.
David?
Jeremiah got a bunch of opportunities to return kicks in the game. I think he had 4, he averaged around 20 yards. How did you evaluate that? Is that about what you want from your return guy? Maybe, I don't know if there's a number that you guys shoot for in terms of that.
No, I think, I do think that he's due to break one. I really do. I think you see him run through tackles. You see him be able to make people miss. We're all excited about Jeremiah Patterson. I think he's going to continue to improve as he plays football here. He's a junior college player, just got here in the summertime, but we're excited about him, and I think it's starting to show up in the kicking game, and you've also seen it show up positively on offense.
Coach Aquina yesterday kind of compared the season to Apollo 13, like shooting for the moon, but let's figure out a way to land this. What do you think about that analogy and how you guys move forward?
That's an interesting analogy. I think that, I guess that makes sense to me. But really what I'm trying to do with our players and with our team is get us to focus on just this practice, just this day. Like, are we going to do everything we have to do to win this day, right? And not be so worried about, I think one of the challenges for football teams is they get so worried about outcome and they get so worried about things that are way down the road, and they lose sight of what is really important to get done right now. And really, that's all that matters is us having, we had a great practice this morning, right? Now can we have great meetings and great recovery this afternoon, that kind of thing.
Michael, when you look at the pressure rates that your defense has been able to generate the last 2 games, it's been down from where it was earlier. Do you think that is because of attrition, or do you think it was more of a strategic thing of, not trying to be too aggressive?
No, I think it's a combination of those things, a combination of attrition and the combination of we've played back-to-back 2 really good quarterbacks who were efficient getting the ball out of their hands, and they were surrounded by good skill players, and I think that's the thing that made that challenging.
What do you think are West Virginia's biggest strengths?
Well, I think they're really efficient running the football. I think that shows up. And then just watching them play on defense, they're tough, they play hard. I always respect teams that play football the right way, and they do. It looks like they like playing football. Their defense is incredibly physical, and just how hard they play, and that's impressive to me.
Do you have any connections to Neil Brown or?
I don't really. I've met Neil, but I don't really know him.
The phrase "must win" is something that we like to use in the media. It's probably not something that you like to talk about in your.
That's every game in college football. Yeah, I mean, every game is college football. Is you're in that you're in a 1-week season in college football. You know what I mean? I mean, that's kind of what I'm talking about when I'm referring to like the outcome or shooting for the moon, or you know what I mean? Like nothing matters if you don't take care of business this week, right? And so that's the trying to keep our players focused on that. Just let's play really good football Saturday afternoon in Arizona Stadium.
And then just see what happens.
Yeah, and then we'll worry about the next one. You know what I mean? Everybody we're playing is good, right? And so that's one of those things. Like every team that we're playing has good players. They present different challenges. And so we can't worry about what's down the road. We got to worry about what's right now.
Any more questions? Okay.
Good seeing y'all.